Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here with the September edition of Historical Mysteries. It's late, I know, but it's always late, so why change now? This will be in two parts because there are 29 books I have to talk about. And you know, I like to talk. So, I think I've missed some because these all start on September 8th. So that's my bad. I should film this sooner. But life sort of like blew up at the end of August. So we gotta work with it. Anyway, the first book is, as I said, September 8th, The Quality of Mercy. A Lady Evelyn mystery. This is book number 5 by Malia Zaidi, Zaidi. And I did look this up, but I have forgotten. Okay, it's set in, the first book is set in 1925. And on Amazon it doesn't say, so let's say the 1920s or 30s for book number 5. And Lady Evelyn is back home in London. She opens a detective agency. And then cases start piling up. She has a friend and assistant named Hugh, and she embarks on a quest to solve crimes. Let's see. She doesn't remember London, and it's not like it was when she was younger. She has to learn more. That there is more to discover than the identity of a murderer. Secrets are revealed that have her thinking twice. And her love for her hard-won independence confronts her with yet another mystery. I was going to yawn, I apologize. Whether she is ready or willing to give any of it up for marriage. So that sounds interesting. Next, on September 8th, I think I might have talked about this before. It might have gotten pushed back. It's called Scorpions in Corinth. It's set after the Persian War, between Greece and Persia, and wealthy Athenians are looking to expand. Popular playwright Philocles and his actors are hired to take his play to Corinth. I think I did talk about this in August, but I do know that some books have been pushed back because of COVID. So, but then somebody drops dead, and it's up to Philocles to solve the crime, but asking the wrong questions could get an outsider like him killed. So I do dig that because I do like ancient history mysteries. Those are fun. And that is by J.M. Alvey. Next, still on September 8th, is Tie-Dye, a Colleen Hayes mystery, number 2 by Max Tomlinson, and this is set in London in the 60s. Or no, sorry. There's like flashbacks to the 60s. Steve Cook was a teen idol, but that changed when a fan was found dead in his hotel. And now it's 1978 in San Francisco. Steve wants to make a comeback, but his daughter is kidnapped, so he turns to Colleen. And it is a harrowing journey through a music industry rife with corruption and crime. What a shocker. So it goes into London as well, it looks like, in the 70s. Yeah, I said who that was by. Still on September 8th is Nightshade, a Livy Nash mystery. This is book number 2. It is set in the 1940s. When was the first one set? I think it said 1946. So, after World War One, geez Louise. And Livy Nash is a British spy. And one of her friends and fellow agents, disappears during the war. And then her call sign is picked up years after the war. So Livy and her team go to find out what happened. This is by M.L. Huey, Huie. And she doesn't know if she'll find her friend alive. Interesting. Next, still on September 8th, there's a lot of them, is Nothing Ventured by Jeffrey Archer. It is a William Warwick novel. I am not 100% certain when this is set. I did look it up and I found nothing. He always wanted to be a detective. He doesn't want to become a lawyer like his father or sister. And so he joins the London's Metropolitan Police Force. There's a theft of a priceless Rembrandt painting. And then he falls in love with a research assistant at the gallery. And he comes up against suave art collector and his brilliant lawyer, who are willing to bend the law to the breaking point. So, yeah. I don't know if I'd read it, but it sounds interesting. Next is Taken Too Soon by Edith Maxwell. It is a Quaker midwife mystery, and this is book 6. And the first one was set in 1888 Massachusetts, so around the 1800s. And the Quaker midwife Rose Carroll must use her investigative skills on her own family when a young woman's murder stuns a New England community. She is getting married when she gets a telegram that the young ward of her aunt has suffered a mysterious death. And so she agrees reluctantly to mix her honeymoon with murder. I don't know how her husband feels about that. Probably the same as her. And she embarks on an investigation that will expose family secrets and a community's bigotry. Interesting. Let's see. A close friend of the victim who may harbor secret resentments. An estranged brother of her new husband. The son of a Native American midwife who supposedly led the young woman astray. I can see the bigotry right there. The solution will rattle her assumptions about her own family and faith. Now that sounds cool because I do enjoy Quakers, and I think that would be fun to read about. Next is, did I say who that was by? Yes, I did. The next is the Mimosa Tree Mystery, the part of the Crown Colony series, set in 1930s Singapore. which I like. The first book was 1936, so probably not that far after. A secretive neighbor is a known collaborator and blackmailer, so he's murdered. The suspects include local acquaintances, Japanese officials, and his own daughter. Hideki Tagawa, I think I said that, a former spy expelled by a police officer, offers to help Su Lin save her uncle in exchange for her fluency in languages and knowledge of locals to find the real killer. Su Lin soon discovers Hideki has ulterior motives, and Su Lin must find out who killed the neighbor before the police officer and other former colleagues detained or working with the resistance suffer the consequences of his last secret. Interesting. Next we have Death in Focus, an Elena Standish novel. This is set after World War I. That's not the page that it was on. So Elena and her sister have finally been able to move on from the trauma of the Great War. She's got a camera and she's taking pictures of the Italian landscape, and she meets a man named Ian. And then Elena has to deliver a message to Berlin on Ian's behalf. And then her diplomat father and secretive grandfather, once head of MI6, unbeknownst to his family, have their own stuff. And then they're worried Elena still hasn't returned. And her grandfather connects the dots between her and Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich are on the rise. And the only people who can get her out alive are her grandfather's old contacts, if Elena can tell the difference between her allies and her enemies. This is by Anne Perry. Ugh. I don't believe I said that. Oh, that's for the paperback. But also, which I have not clicked on apparently, is where is it down here? It might be somewhere else. Yes, it was down here. Down here that way on my tabs. The hardcover, the second book in the series, is also releasing the same day as the paperback for the first one, and it looks like she gets to go to Italy because she works with MI6. So it's just a continuation of the first one, getting into more World War. Let me find that. Get rid of that. World War II stuff and MI6 and all that spy stuff. I don't know if I like spy mysteries. I like murder mysteries. Next is A Deception at Thorn, Crest, an Amory Ames mystery. This is number 7 by Ashley Weaver. She is a female, Amory Ames. She's pregnant. She has a husband who's in London. But then another woman shows up and says she's Mrs. Ames. So that's not great. Secret identities and whirlwind romances happen And then Milo's stable hand is found dead. So, fun times for a pregnant woman. Finally, we have a different one. It is... let's see. Let me click on this one. Oh, okay. It is the paperback version of the Nelson Lane Frontier Mysteries, book 2. There's no cover, but it is set in Wyoming. And there's the first one. I'm not sure when. Oh, during the Great Depression. So, because the first one was called Marshall and the Moonshiner, and this one is Marshall and the Sinister Still, by C.M. Windlebow. So it's like a Western type of book. Nelson Lane finds himself once again assisting local law enforcement. It's a tribal policeman helping to find a girl who's gone missing from the reservation. Interesting. The next one is also, this one's a more westerny western. It is Lawman, a Murphy Western, the Regulator series, number 5. And this is after the Civil War. And it is Murphy. If there's a first name, it's not, or last name, I'm not sure. And he is a regulator for President Garfield. And so whenever that is. It looks like he is protecting President Grant, and somebody attempts to assassinate him, so Murphy takes care of that. And it is the niece of the British ambassador has been kidnapped, and the ransom is $250,000 in gold. President Arthur? Chester A. Arthur, sorry, I forgot him. And someone else agreed to send Murphy, and Murphy takes full command. So, that's interesting. Oh, it's not as long. Yay, I'm learning. Anyway, next. Oh, that is November 9th. Those westerns. Next is September 9th. Sorry. The next is September 14th. A Witness to Murder. A Lady Eleanor Swift mystery, number 3. It's called an unput-downable cozy murder mystery, which are my favorites. So it's 1920. There's a medieval house, a dead body, and some rather suspicious chocolate fudge. That's really all I need to know. An accidental amateur detective and retired explorer. Oof, I love it already. There's 4. But the 4th one isn't out, obviously. A local politician dies suddenly. She tries her hardest not to listen because she wants to take a break from investigating murders. But then she investigates the murder. Because a kindly cook has been dismissed without wage or reference because the police consider her a suspect. And she has a bulldog named Gladstone. I think I'm going to have to start this series just for the dog. Another body turns up and there's more poisoned fudge. And then she probably solves the thing, and it's gonna be amazing. So, yes. I'll do 2 more. September 15th, did I say who that was by? Verity Bright is a witness to murder. So September 15th, Hotel Destiny, A Ghost Noir is by Raymond Benson. And what if, as a ghost, you had to solve your own murder? So it's 1985, so not like a super long time ago, but still in the past. Coleman Sackler is a night manager and self-proclaimed hotel detective for the transient Hotel Destiny, which has been plagued with scandals over the centuries, including murders, gangsters, and Fleabag status. 5 slayings in the building have been attributed to one killer. Cole finds himself murdered, but as a ghost, he has to solve his own murder. He solves his own murder by dropping in on living characters throughout Hotel Destiny's history. And his goal is to discover the identity of his killer, as well as learn the ironic truth about his family, his heritage, and himself. That sounds cool. And the last one is September 15th, Son of Nothingness, a novel of appearances by Ona Russell. It is 1949 in LA, and Andrew Martin, who is an attorney, is surviving. He has a parrot, Emerson, until the arrival of Penny, a stranger with a secret. Suddenly, nothing makes sense after meeting her, and he moves to Sacramento. He's been asked to help confirm a plot that the government is using ex-Nazi spies to spot ex-Nazis to spy on communists in the U.S. And he agrees because he got rejected from the military. It sounds like he has a bad leg. Might be why he got rejected from the military. So he decides to help the government. Interesting. Well, that's it for part 1. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.